don't we? What do we do for stories?
We just go like, we hello.
I do think we...
No, we don't fade. We only fade in for... I'm pretty sure we just do... okay, now I'm confused.
Yeah, now you're doubting yourself, aren't you? Do we or don't we fade in?
No, we don't. I'm almost 100% sure.
Okay, but like I have very high certainty the other way. So, I mean, we can find out if we just go... Hello and welcome to the Joy of Trek.
Yes, and welcome indeed. I'm Kay.
I'm Kaki. And
this is another episode of our story reading thing, which we still haven't found a proper name for.
Or we've found names for it twice and forgotten. Because
we appreciate
the temporal
suggestions.
vortex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please help remember us and remind us. I mean,
temporal vortex has the most delicious rain.
Unable to complete requested function. Please abort and retry.
Well, I think our technological problems have been sufficiently conquered at this point for the time being, at least. So we have a story for you, dear listeners. I don't know how much of that pre-ramble is going to actually make it into the original.
Pre-ramble is a really good term. I don't know. I can't actually find the title of today's episode, of today's story. In this.
Skip header, actions, comments, share, download, work header, rating, general audience, archive warning, no worries.
There was a little technological whoopsie on the side of archive of our own. I had to copy everything, but apparently the title didn't join us. So, Chief, what is the title of today's episode?
Hey, I'm just going to let you guys figure it out for yourself, because you're going to figure out in 3, 2, 1...
And whomst is it by?
It is, I think, by GrayRainbow.
Oh, then it's Distant Origin Painful Truth.
No, it's not what it's called.
Yeah. Okay. So it's for Star Trek Voyager Distant Origin, an episode that we've done before with the Voth, the space dinosaurs.
Oh, them, yes.
Freeform, interrogations, Starfleet debriefing.
Summary, the captain and her first officer are being debriefed about their encounters with the Voth. Takes place several years after the episode Distant Origin.
Right. And now we can completely naturally warp into this episode with work text.
That's a weird captain's thing to say.
Yeah. Per my previous email.
All right. Well, let's see, who is this?
Yeah, it's weird when it starts with a quote and you don't know. So take a stab and see if I can guess who. Don't say who you think you're doing.
Oh, I'm trying to...
Don't say who you think you're doing.
Oh, okay. I was trying to read ahead to see who it is.
Cheating.
Well, yeah. Captain Janeway.
With a sigh, Catherine put down the cup of coffee that she had just been about to enjoy.
Yes? Command wishes to
just
speak to you immediately, the nervous ensign reported to her.
What is it this time? I was just about to have lunch.
It's about one of your reports from Stardate 50885.6.
I don't remember all my reports from every single day that I spent in the Delta Quadrant, Catherine told him impatiently, and then looked at Chakotay across the table with an exasperated expression.
Her first officer just gave her a knowing smile. Their debriefing back on Earth had been quite thorough and exhausting.
Please, Captain, the young ensign pleaded with her, hopping back and forth a little on his feet. The Admiral will explain it to you. I wasn't allowed to talk about it openly. Not here.
He's suddenly gone Dobby.
He has gone Dobby. I was going like, he's just sort of slipping into an Elizabethan child, but now he's gone full on Dobby.
That caught Catherine's attention, and she looked back up at the ensign's nervous face, her mind racing along to try and remember what report he was talking about. Very well. She stood up and put her hand on Chakotay's shoulder.
Ooh.
We will have lunch together some other time, my friend.
Actually, Commander Chakotay is supposed to come with you, the ensign quickly added.
Then it must be serious. Catherine sighed before following the young man with her first officer at her side.
Do you know why you were brought before this council, Captain Janeway? The voice of Admiral Lee echoed through the chamber they were in.
It was a rather dark one, without any windows, and a somewhat ominous atmosphere. In front of her was a raised platform in the shape of half a circle, which gave her a bit of a claustrophobic feeling. On the platform were at least a dozen of chairs behind a long table, all of them occupied with people whose faces she couldn't quite make out in the shadows. Ooh.
Wait, I'm trying to work this out.
So it's a semicircle table. It's basically a courtroom, and they're lit from above or below, and their faces are kind of in the shadow. So it's kind of like a shadow court, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, that assumes that the hollow side is facing Catherine. right? The
Oh.
hollow side of the semicircle.
Where are you? Oh, yes, of course. That's
I
the
mean,
usual.
not of course. Yeah, it would be better.
it would be very weird, like council meeting. It's like, are they then sitting with their backs towards the table or with their backs towards the person in front of them?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, especially since it's a long table, which is not described to be circular.
Oh, good point.
So I'm sort of imagining, like, the long table, one end is facing Catherine, so she can see the back of one person, and she can't see over the heads of anybody else. Okay.
Remind me not to let you do set design.
Hey, I'm actually quite good. We went to like Photoshop World one time in Las Vegas with some vendors and instead of having like tables set up like lengthwise and sitting behind them like everybody else was doing, I set up high tables in a T formation so we could stand around it like it was a bar. It was a huge hit.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, it was really, really engaging. Anyway, apparently it's about one of the reports we made on our journey back home. She spread her hands out wide, trying to convey her confusion. But the message wasn't very specific.
You are here to discuss the report you and your first officer made on Stardate 50885.6, the Admiral said impatiently, about the Voth.
Oh! Catherine let out a sound of surprise. Ah! She had been sure it
sounds more like an emergency klaxon.
It would have been about their encounters with the Borg or some other part of their journey during which she had to make some questionable decisions. What about the Voth?
You claim that they evolved here, on Earth? That they are distantly related to humans? Another voice called out to her. She couldn't see the face of the man it belonged to.
Yeah, so sitting at the other end of the long table.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay, this vibe reminds me of a little Star Trek meme that I've seen. I'm sorry to interrupt again, which is two images. Oh, one of them was like, it's Chakotay and Janeway on the bridge. And Chakotay goes, oh, Christ. What does he say? Chief, what does he say?
Which meme are we talking about?
How the should I know from that little of a description? No, I'm going to just let you figure it out for yourselves. How's that?
She says, have you killed anyone recently? And she said, why?
Is anybody
missing?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, I fucked it up. Okay, back to the story. I shouldn't take these aside. That is correct, Catherine said with a smile. It was quite a discovery. Apparently, they were the first ones from the Alpha Quadrant to visit the Delta Quadrant. Their evolution must have been...
How did they do it? Another voice interrupted her.
After a while.
Jeez.
Excuse me?
How did they leave Earth back then? How did they get to the Delta Quadrant?
We never found out, Catherine explained, and she glanced back at Chakotay. His posture radiated an anxiety that worried her. As you might have read in the report, the Voth government wasn't very welcoming of the truth. We didn't have time to find out all the answers.
An awkward silence followed her words, and several of the people on the stand leaned back as if they were avoiding her questioning gaze.
I really appreciate you holding your finger up and an awkward silence. And for that to be the moment, I don't know if you can hear it on the microphone, for a doggo to start really, really yapping in the background. Unfortunately, Admiral Lee finally said, several of the Federation's governments feel the same way.
What do you mean? Chakotay suddenly stepped forward, and Catherine quickly reached out a hand to stop him from saying anything else that might be unproductive or rude.
What seems to be their point of concern, Admiral? She asked instead.
It says in your report that these people, these lizards, have trans-warp technology, that they have personal cloaking devices, that they invaded your ship undetected, and then they beamed your whole ship on board of theirs. A rather panicked voice crashed down on them. Oh, crap, I thought that was the Admiral again.
That's fine. Catherine could see the man who was saying the words, but she did not recognize him. Oh, he must be standing on the table. Nor did she recognize his uniform.
Oh, section, the black ops section, what's it called? Section 34?
Section 31, or maybe like time travelers or something?
34.
Yeah, okay. No, I just got it. Thank you.
That is correct, she answered him slowly.
Will they come here? A voice asked her. She seemed to be more scared than angry. Will they come to Earth to claim their heritage? Will they invade our world?
Don't think so, Catherine blustered, looking at Chakotay for help, but the grim line of his mouth told her that he was trying his hardest not to say something that would make the situation worse. The Voth discredited their distant origin theory. Their government didn't want to diverge from their doctrine.
So the theory was buried there, the man in the strange uniform spoke up again. The rest of their population, they will not find out?
I can't answer that. Catherine was starting to feel annoyed now. Who are these people, and why was Starkman allowing them to talk to her this way?
That was Starfleet Command.
Yeah, sorry, Starfleet.
No, helpful for the listeners.
Once the truth is out there, it's hard to stop.
Several of the people glanced at each other, and then the man who had spoken last turned to Admiral Lee and nodded at him, as if he were giving him a signal.
With a sigh, the Admiral leaned forward in his chair, bracing himself on the table. It's the wish of the Federation that the theory of the Voth heritage will be contained, at least until we have answers to some of the questions that remain.
We will never get those answers, Chakotay said in a very calm and quiet voice, which Catherine understood meant that he was upset.
Then it might as well stay buried here too, the ancient woman said, just in case.
Catherine looked at the line of faces floating above her in disbelief. What had happened to Earth while they had been away? What had the Dominion done to the Federation, to Starfleet?
Her eyes found the Admiral, and she could see dark storm clouds in them. He was very unhappy about what's happening here, but he seemed unable to stop it.
It is decided, then, the man in the strange uniform said with some relief in his voice. The reports from Voyager concerning the Voth will henceforth be restricted. No one will gain access to them without permission.
Sorry, but we might have already shared some of the information with scientists in the Alpha Quadrant when we were still flying home, Catherine reminded them. Once contact was established, we shared most of our scientific discoveries through our communications. I'm sure the information about the Voth was in those reports.
They will be found. Those records and possible subsequent studies will be contained just like Voyager's logs.
Her finality rang clear from those words, but Catherine was still trying very hard to come up with something to say.
What was happening in this room felt wrong to her. It felt disloyal to Gagan, who had sacrificed his scientific career for Voyager's freedom. The only comfort he had then was that the truth was at least known to them, to the humans. And now that same truth was being buried here in the Alpha Quadrant in much the same way as the Voth Ministry had done. Wow.
I don't think, Catherine started out, but she was immediately cut short.
I'm sure we have taken up enough of your valuable time, Captain. You must have a lot to catch up on now that you are back on Earth.
Yes, she said, as she watched the people on the platform get up and leave the room. Clearly the meeting was over, but the Admiral stayed in his seat, staring down at the table with hunched shoulders. More than I thought.
And this is where it ends.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That's really, really awesome.
Yeah. So there's some more story notes. I rather like the story of the Voth and how this episode did not start with the crew of the Voyager.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite cleverly done, and that made it hard for me to find something to do right about it, which is why I jumped so far into the future. It turned out a bit more dark than I expected, but I hope you liked it anyway. If you have the time, please let me know what you think of the story, and thank you.
We should definitely let them know that we've done a recording of this.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Because this is a great story. Like, when Voyager returns, that is around the time, I think, that... I mean, Starfleet is heading toward quite a dark time, as we saw in the in the end of season 2 of Prodigy, and like also alluded to in Picard, like after the explosion of the Romulan sun, and various things that happen there that we find out about in Picard. It becomes rather insular and self-interested.
Very unlike the ideals of Starfleet.
Yeah, exactly. Probably also why Boimler was so excited to go back to the period of those old scientists. The
Yes.
golden age of exploration.
I mean, yes, it's like we're discovering new aliens every week. I mean,
Yeah.
they were not really new. They've been there all along, but, you know.
Yeah, but we had to make new friends.
New to us, yes.
Yeah, new to us, and that's exciting. New foods to try out. Anyway.
Actually finished watching season 1 of Lower Decks with the other half. So we're slowly making our way through that. So
it's so successful in being accessible to people who don't have a lot of familiarity with Star Trek, while still being an absolute delight to all the nerds who recognize all the Easter eggs, because they're not essential to the story. Everything's just weird.
I mean, it's kind of what they did with the Mandalorian. Sorry, the Mandalorian did so well.
Yeah.
It's like if you've never seen any Star Wars, thank you. You can still the story makes perfectly good sense. It's just a space western at that point.
Yeah, with weird stuff and aliens.
But if you do know the lore, and then it's like chock full of little references and little details.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm actually excited to see how this continues. I just noticed that this work is part 62 out of 160 of mostly standalone stories in The Journey.
all right. Well, thank you very much. And yes, we will have to get the author to let the author know that there is now a voice recording of their story.
Sure hope they appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you,
well.
GrayRainbow173. If that's even the full, I don't know for sure. Maybe 173 is like the number of favorites or something. Hey, what are the odds that the last bookmark that killed AO3 for a solid few hours
was
on this story?
It could have been the last bookmark, but I mean, did we notice the site going down after the chief selected this one for us and probably...
Temporal vortex. Oh, speaking of which, so next week we will be watching a new episode, a new to the podcast, I should say, episode of Star Trek, which you'll hear the chief mention in the end credits. And after that, we'll have a new story.
And the chief has prepared a little teaser for that, and it goes as follows. Okay, Mariner says, slamming her glass down so hard its contents slash onto the bar. I think we should have a slumber party, like now.
Yes. Emergency mandatory slumber party. That's what we need. Oh, awesome. God. I can't wait. See you all in 2 weeks. Get your gym jams ready. Footy pajamas. And there's only one more thing to do.
The hell is this?
I'm leaving Starfleet.
Energize!
We hope you've enjoyed this week's episode with your friends Kay and Kaki, production and editing by our chief engineer Greg, and music by Fox Amore. Join us next week for The Wounded, TNG 412, followed by Nyota's Wish, fanfiction reading. Visit joyoftrek.com/links to send us recommendations, support us on Patreon, or to find us on Blue Sky. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening to Joy of Trek, and we'll see you out there.